Hey guys, we're going to take a look today at the High Grade Mechanics 1/550th scale Val-Walo. So first off, we're going to take a look at the box here. This comes in your average HDUC box. You've got the Val-Walo MA06, all the usual technological information there, just model number, total length, weight, height, all that information. Side here we've got the usual front view, rear view, Japanese description. Once again, the same information on the front there. Side is just the typical side with the picture of the model or unit, and then the same information there. Now on the back here we've got all the little gimmicks, so showing off the arms, thrusters, and the hyper beam. A little bit more information there, and then so this kit actually does come with two 550th scale, a GPO1 and a GPO2 figures. I'll be showing those off later, and then just a little bit of the average warnings there. On to the manual. Now, every kit I've ever built, this is probably one of the smallest high-grade manuals I've ever seen. Now we have the what's usually the inner view or the outer view here, where it just kind of shows off the model, more in-depth information there, maybe a few of the gimmicks, and you got your color guide here. This one's really simple, only having 4 colors, and then just the a close-up there of the 2 small figures it comes with. Now on the inside here, like I said, this is probably the easiest manual I've ever seen. You've got your typical runner description there, everything you'll need, all the warnings, and then step 1 through, let's see, what is it, 11 here is the assembly. So overall, fairly simple assembly of the kit, and then also it does come with a black stand, which is just a 2-piece snap-in kit. And then the figures themselves need to be glued, which is a little surprising seeing in a high-grade kit, because most stuff is typically just a snap-on. I did find you don't have to glue them. They do have the proper pegs, but I would imagine it's a little bit easier to go and glue them. And then on the back here, we've just got the standard shot of the model, and then the feature shots. So what this kit comes with the beautiful 550th scale model here and stand. You can kind of see, I'll go ahead and I'll snap this guy off here. You can get a good bottom view there. Side view, and then just a front view, and then here's the little hyper beam that opens up there, and then just another side view with the other arm tucked away. So this comes with the kit, the Val-Walo, the stand, and then a couple other little features here. So it comes with, as you see, it's got the extended arm here if you want to have the arm out in front, or if you want to have the arm curled up in the side position like that. It comes with an arm for either one, just in this kind of a purpley gray 2-piece snap together, and then 1 poly cap arm if you want an extended arm, or if you want a short stowed away arm. Once again, just a 2-piece snap together and a poly cap. And it comes with just a sample of one of the figures, a very tiny GPO2, but still highly detailed. Now the GPO2 and the GPO1 come modeled in a kind of like rubberized polystyrene, similar to the poly caps. But as you can see, there is plenty of detail on here for the experienced hand painter, or even just go and spray it in like a base gray, and that would really make a lot of the detail pop if you don't feel like taking the time to go and paint it. Now, I do have the GPO1 here still on the runner. I didn't feel like snapping it together. But like I said, they are really easy to snap. They basically, the base they come on is the kind of core construction. Like, as you can see, the leg itself is just a 2-piece right there in the from the knee down. can see that seam line. Crap, this will focus. Anyway, the leg itself has a seam line that just runs down it, and so that just snaps together right there, and then that just fits right onto that square block there on the stand without any glue. But it is a lot more stable if you go and glue it though, unlike what I've done. Now these tiny figures are not really posable. They're pretty much, I think the arms move a little bit, but that's really all the articulation. With the GPO2, since he has his bazooka, he's going to have a severely limited range of motion. They're only really going up about that far if you want to make it look like he's in flight, and then his bazooka hits his side skirt there, so it can't really go much lower. The shield, on the other hand, can go up quite a bit farther, but it's a similar story. Because of that side skirt, his arm starts to hit. So that's the GPO2 and the Val-Walo. Now the stand itself, the black stand over here, comes modeled in that kind of ugly purplish gray that you see on the arm, and then even inside the claws. All I did for that was I just went and took a can of Krylon flat black spray paint, just spray painted that, and then just took one paint over the decal there, the little Xeon emblem. I just took some Citadel gold paint and just kind of masked that off and painted it that way. It's not perfect, but it does the job. I figured that makes it look a lot better, adds a little touch of detail, and then plus that gets a little bit closer to looking like what it does in the manual there with the flat, possibly satin black colored stand and the gold emblem. What else? I guess another thing you could do too is if you have the MS parts, go and sand that emblem off and then just go and glue one on and paint it. I think that would look really cool too if you wanted to do like a Neo Xeon or a sleeves variant of it. That would look really neat. And as far as like features and gimmicks, this guy really doesn't have a whole lot. His arms move, they swivel. You could still tuck this arm away and he'll go from, I'll call it like tucked position to out about that far. The claws do open up about that far there, and then they close, and then you can extend the claws well if you want, and so that will go, there we go, kind of back into there, the like resting position. You can do the same with this claw, with the resting claw, but I don't know. I think it looks a little goofy if you have both claws out, even if one is a little shorter than the other one. Just kind of looks a little silly, but quality-wise, it's, I don't know, it's a really simple kit. Pretty much everything snaps together the way you would think it would. It's honestly, I think it's a good beginner kit if you're learning to like spray paint or airbrush. It's a really simplistic kit. All I did for this guy, just painting-wise, was I actually just went and panel lined him and then took a can of Tamiya TS80 and just went and sprayed him over with that. And I think that looked really good. There's a few spots I might be able to pick up here on camera that turned out a little kind of blotchy just because of the spray pattern of using like an aerosol can versus using like an airbrush. But I don't think it looks too bad. Honestly, if I was going to do if I was going to do a full paint job for this kit, what I'd probably do is paint the arm and the inner frame thrusters gray there, and then I'd maybe do like a cherry red, like a kind of hot rod cherry red, or even just like a flat Tamiya red, and then just panel line it from there, and I think that'd look really good. So in terms of overall quality, he's about what I'd expect from like a gosh, I think this kit came out in like 1999 or 2000, so it's about what I'd expect for a almost 16, 17-year-old kit now. Actually, the only detail painting I really did was, you might be able to see these little tiny gray power lines here on the body, which, man, Camera's having a hard time picking it up, but right in there, I just went and took a little bit of gray paint and just hand painted those. And then once again on the other side there, actually, wow, now it picked it up. Just those 4 power lines there, all I really hand painted. And honestly, this kit doesn't really have a lot of color. It's red and that kind of ugly purplish gray, which doesn't look too bad if you go and use like a matte top coat. But I have seen a few people do a really cool like kind of camo paint job. I think that'd look really neat. But even if you just go and flat coat it and then paint the base, I think it looks great. If I had to recommend this kit, I think it is about a $15 kit. And honestly, it's good. I like it. I'd recommend it, especially if you haven't built like any of the mechanics kits or like any of the ships or anything like that. It's a good size. It is about what do we got here? 8. It's about 8 inches long with one claw extended. So I think that's a pretty decent size. Here's a high grade HDUC Zaku 2 Garmazabi custom, just for kind of a size comparison, which I think he sits at, gosh, it's about 5 or so inches there, almost 5.5 with antenna. So size-wise, he's a pretty decent size. I don't know. I'd pick it up again if I had to, or even just to go and do another kind of paint job and just see what all I could do with that, just to make it a little bit different. Yeah, I think that's about it. So thank you guys for watching this video. I'm going to try to come out with a model review or a video of some sort once a week. Once again, thank you for watching the video.